Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's absolutely crucial for anyone passionate about aquaculture, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out. Getting the stocking size right for your catfish and tilapia. This isn't just about throwing fish into a pond, it's about setting them up for success, ensuring healthy growth, and ultimately, a bountiful harvest. We're going to explore the nuances, the science, and the practical considerations that go into making this vital decision. When we talk about stocking size, we're essentially referring to the size of the fingerlings or juveniles you introduce into your grow-out system. This might seem like a simple choice, but it has ripple effects throughout your entire production cycle. Think of it like choosing the right age to start a new school year. Too young, and they might not be ready for the challenges. Too old, and you might miss out on optimal growth periods. Let's start with catfish. Catfish are incredibly resilient and adaptable, which is part of their appeal in aquaculture. However, even these hardy fish benefit immensely from being stocked at an appropriate size. Generally for channel catfish, which are a popular choice, stocking fingerlings that are around 4 to 6 inches in length is a common and effective practice. Why this size? At this stage, they've typically overcome the most vulnerable period of their early life. They've developed a stronger immune system, are more adept at foraging for feed, and are less susceptible to predation from smaller organisms that might still be present in the pond. Imagine a very small fingerling, perhaps only an inch or two long. While they are cheaper to acquire, they are also significantly more fragile. They require very specific, finely textured feed, and their ability to compete for food can be limited, especially in a pond with a higher stocking density. They are also more prone to stress from handling and environmental fluctuations. If you stock them too small, you're essentially signing up for a higher mortality rate and a longer grow-out period, as you'll need to nurse them through those initial vulnerable weeks. On the other hand, stocking larger juveniles, say 8 to 10 inches, can also have its drawbacks. While they are robust and will likely survive well, they are also more expensive per individual. You're paying for the extra growth that has already occurred. Furthermore, while they will continue to grow, they might not exhibit the same rapid growth rates that smaller, younger fish do when provided with optimal conditions. The initial investment is higher, and while the grow-out period might be slightly shorter, the overall cost-effectiveness needs careful consideration. So, that 4 to 6 inch sweet spot for channel catfish offers a fantastic balance. It represents a point where they have a good chance of survival, can efficiently utilize formulated feeds, and still have a substantial growth period ahead of them to reach market size within a reasonable time frame. This size also allows for easier handling during stocking and management. They are large enough to be seen and managed effectively, but not so large that they become unwieldy. Now, let's consider the environmental factors that influence stocking size. The condition of your pond or tank is paramount. If you have a well-prepared pond with good water quality, adequate aeration, and a controlled feeding program, you can often successfully stock slightly smaller fingerlings and still achieve excellent results. However, if your system is less controlled, or if you're dealing with potential environmental challenges, like fluctuating temperatures or the presence of natural predators, opting for a slightly larger, more robust fingerling becomes a wiser strategy. The type of feed you intend to use also plays a role. If you're using a high-quality, commercially formulated feed designed for fingerlings, you can support smaller fish effectively. However, if you're relying on a less refined feed or a combination of natural and supplemental feeding, larger fingerlings that are more capable of foraging and processing a wider range of food sources might be a better choice. Let's move on to tilapia. Tilapia, particularly species like Nile tilapia, are known for their rapid growth and adaptability to various farming systems. When it comes to stocking size for tilapia, The general recommendation often leans towards fingerlings that are around 1 to 3 inches in length. This might seem quite small compared to catfish, but tilapia have a different growth trajectory and feeding behavior. Why this smaller size for tilapia? Tilapia are often stocked at higher densities than catfish, and their feeding habits are different. They are omnivorous and can efficiently utilize a variety of feeds, including phytoplankton and zooplankton, in addition to formulated feeds. At the 1 to 3 inch stage, they are still highly adaptable and can quickly adjust to the feeding regime and the environment of the grow-out system. The key advantage of stocking smaller tilapia fingerlings is their remarkable growth rate. When provided with optimal conditions, good water quality, appropriate temperature, and a balanced diet, they can grow from this initial small size to market size in as little as 4 to 6 months. This rapid growth translates to a quicker turnaround time for your production cycle, which can be a significant economic advantage. However, stocking very small tilapia fingerlings does come with its own set of considerations. They are more vulnerable to predation, especially if there are any small predatory fish or invertebrates present in the pond. Therefore, it's absolutely essential to ensure your pond is free of such threats before stocking. If you have any doubts, it might be prudent to stock slightly larger fingerlings, perhaps in the 3 to 4 inch range, or to implement measures to control potential predators. Another crucial aspect for smaller tilapia fingerlings is the quality and consistency of their feed. They need a feed with a high protein content and a fine particle size that they can easily consume. Irregular or inadequate feeding at this stage can lead to stunted growth and increased mortality. This is where a well-managed feeding program becomes non-negotiable. The temperature of the water is also a critical factor for tilapia. They are tropical fish and thrive in warmer waters, ideally between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. If you are stocking in cooler water, even if it's within their tolerance range, their growth rate will be significantly slower. In such scenarios, stocking slightly larger fingerlings might be beneficial, as they have a greater capacity to withstand cooler temperatures and still maintain some level of growth. When considering tilapia, it's also important to think about the species you are farming. Different tilapia species have slightly different growth rates and environmental preferences. For instance, Mozambique tilapia might tolerate slightly cooler water than Nile tilapia, but Nile tilapia generally exhibit faster growth rates. Always research the specific species you are working with. Let's talk about the practicalities of stocking. Regardless of whether you're stocking catfish or tilapia, the process itself needs to be handled with care. Acclimatization is key. When you receive your fingerlings, don't just dump them into your pond. Float the bags or containers in the pond water for about 15 to 20 minutes to allow the temperature inside to equalize with the pond water. Then gradually mix some of the pond water into the bag to help them adjust to the water chemistry. This minimizes stress and shock, which can be detrimental to their survival. The time of day you stock also matters. It's generally best to stock in the cooler parts of the day, either early in the morning or late in the afternoon, to further reduce heat stress. Now, let's delve into the concept of stocking density. While this isn't directly about stocking size, it's intrinsically linked. The optimal stocking size can influence how many fish you can healthily keep in a given volume of water. If you stock very small fingerlings, you might be able to achieve a higher density because they occupy less space and have a lower bioload initially. However, as they grow, their space and oxygen requirements increase. Conversely, stocking larger fingerlings means they already have a higher bioload and require more space from the outset. For catfish, typical stocking densities can range from 1,000 to 5,000 fish per acre, depending on the management system. In intensive systems with excellent aeration and water exchange, you can push these numbers higher, For tilapia, densities can be even higher, sometimes reaching 10,000 to 20,000 fish per acre in highly managed systems. The stocking size you choose needs to be compatible with your intended stocking density and your ability to manage the water quality and feeding for that density. Let's consider the economic implications. The cost of fingerlings is a significant part of your initial investment. Smaller fingerlings are generally cheaper per unit. However, if you have a higher mortality rate with smaller fingerlings, the cost per surviving fish can actually be higher. You need to factor in the potential losses and the cost of any additional inputs required to ensure their survival. Larger fingerlings are more expensive up front, but they offer a higher survival rate and a potentially shorter grow-out period. This can sometimes lead to a better return on investment, especially if you have limited pond space or a short growing season. It's a classic cost-benefit analysis. Invest more upfront for potentially higher returns and lower risk, or invest less upfront and accept a higher risk and potentially longer grow-out period. When making your decision, always consult with your hatchery or supplier. They can provide valuable insights into the health and vigor of their fingerlings and offer recommendations based on their experience. They can also tell you about the specific genetics and growth characteristics of the fish they are selling. It's also wise to consider your own experience level and resources. If you're new to aquaculture, starting with slightly larger, more robust fingerlings might be a more forgiving approach. As you gain experience and refine your management techniques, you can then experiment with stocking smaller sizes to potentially optimize your costs. Let's summarize the key takeaways for stocking size. For channel catfish, a size of 4 to 6 inches generally offers a good balance of survival, growth potential, and manageability. For tilapia, fingerlings in the 1 to 3 inch range are often ideal for rapid growth, provided that predation is controlled and feeding is meticulously managed. Remember, the best stocking size isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. It's a dynamic decision that depends on a multitude of factors: your specific environment, your management capabilities, your budget, and your overall production goals. It requires careful planning, observation, and a willingness to adapt. Think about the journey of these fish. You are providing them with a safe haven, the nourishment they need, and the conditions for them to thrive. Choosing the right stocking size is the first, and perhaps one of the most critical, steps in ensuring that journey is a successful one. It's about setting the stage for healthy growth, efficient conversion of feed, and ultimately, a rewarding harvest. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the specific size recommendations for catfish and tilapia to the underlying reasons why these sizes are often preferred. We've touched upon the importance of environmental factors, feeding, and economic considerations. The goal is always to create an environment where these fish can reach their full potential, contributing to a sustainable and productive aquaculture operation. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this important aspect of fish farming. I hope this detailed discussion has provided you with the clarity and confidence to make informed decisions about your stocking sizes. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel for more insights into aquaculture and sustainable farming practices. We're always here to help you grow.